Hey y'all, it's Rosie, and I'm here with some encouragement. My small group has been doing a Bible study, and one of the sections was labeled God Speaks on Purpose. And it really made me think about how leaders will tell you that if you're not necessarily hearing God, go back to the last thing He said. Because why would God give you a new instruction when you fail to listen to the last instruction? Everything God does is purposeful and full of intention. He doesn't waste his breath. He's not human, right? He's not talking out the side of his neck. He's not talking just to hear himself talk. Everything he does with a purpose, right? Even creating you and me. So when God speaks, it's important that we hear, listen, and obey. Even if it's hard, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it will inconvenience us. Because us not listening and obeying may not just be detrimental for us, but you don't know who else is depending on your obedience. God told Abraham he was going to make him a father of many nations. Yet he also told Abraham to go and sacrifice his promised son Isaac. Abraham could have said, "But Lord, how are you going to make me a father of nations when you're telling me to kill my promised son?" But Abraham didn't question God. He literally took Isaac up. They prepared an altar together, and then he laid his son on the altar. He was about to kill his son when the angel appeared and said, "Wait. God has provided a ram in the bush." God wanted to see if Abraham was willing to do what didn't make sense just because he know God told him to do it. Are you willing to follow God's instruction no matter how illogical it sounds? What blessing are you delaying because you don't want to do the hard thing? Because you don't want to be inconvenienced? Because you don't want to be uncomfortable? I've told y'all many times, these videos are me being uncomfortable. I don't necessarily like doing these videos, but I know I'm being obedient to God. One of you, maybe you need to hear this. And so praise the Lord. But how many times have we heard God tell us to do things, and because it's awkward, because you feel like you got so much that you don't have the time, you make excuses. So why would God tell you to do something else? You didn't do the last thing. Think about even your relationships with maybe your friends. If you ask your friend to do something and they don't do it, are you going to continue to ask them to do things? No, you're going to find someone else to do it. God does the same thing, and I would hate for you to miss out on something because he had to find somebody else to do it, right? I was convicted because there are some things that I've heard God say that I was like, And so I'm going to be, try to do better about when I hear God say something, because he speaks on purpose. It's a reason he told me when he told me. Sometimes we think that we have, okay, God said this, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. Maybe what he told you to do, a person needed 5 minutes ago. And so they're waiting on you to do it. When God gives us instruction, sometimes it's not just for us, but people that are attached to us, right? Me making these videos is not for me. It's for one of you that's watching, right? So if I'm not obedient, maybe you don't get the encouragement you need at the time you need it. So remember, God speaks on purpose. If he told you a certain thing at a certain time, it's for a reason. If you don't understand, ask him. Just open your mouth and say, "Abba, Lord, Daddy, however you speak to God, ask him for understanding. Sometimes he may not give you understanding. Sometimes he wants to see if you'll do it without understanding. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not into your own understanding. Are you willing to trust him even when you don't understand? Because God speaks on purpose. I keep saying that because I want it to get ingrained in your heart like it's been ingrained into mine. Everything God does is on purpose for a purpose. So if he's telling you something, there's a reason why. Don't miss out on what he has for you. I love y'all and be blessed.